Welcome to another episode of the Talking Blues podcast. Chelsea won, Manchester United won. Alex, Josh here to recap this episode. Peter isn't available or able to join us today, so it's unfortunate, but you know what? We got to stick it out. He's still waiting out his Thanksgiving weekend here, taking it in as long as he possibly can, even though we have school in the morning, and it's really sad that we have to go back there. But you know what? It was Alex and Peter, both of them, taking a break when I recorded my match preview with all my lineups and stuff. Alex has ended his break. Peter's still on his break. So we'll have to see if that ever ends in the future. But to get on more serious terms, you know, a draw is a draw, right? Let's be honest here. We weren't expecting / wanting this to happen. Thomas Tuchel, he has some words on it. And I'll get to that later in this episode, a longer-ish quote. But I mean, I guess to kind of narrate this and throw it to my co-host, Alex, what are your thoughts right now?
In general, it's disappointing, obviously, especially considering their goal came off a mistake. I'm not exactly, pleased with everything. I thought in general, we didn't play terribly. We had a lot of chances. And, we moved the ball around well. It was kind of an odd lineup from Tuchel coming out, putting Ziyech, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Werner up front, and then leaving Mount, Lukaku, Pulisic all on the bench. So I thought that was kind of interesting and a bit weird. But it ended up working out. Obviously, we saw Marcos Alonso started at left wing back, last episode or 2 episodes ago. I don't even remember at this point. We were all discussing who's going to play left wing back if Ben Chilwell's out. It is Marcos Alonso, probably the most likely candidate that we expected. Turned out to be him. I thought we moved the ball well. It was kind of weird at certain points. Reece James was pushed up a lot farther up the pitch than Marcos Alonso. And obviously the difference between Marcos Alonso and Ben Chilwell is pace a lot of the time. And we saw that down the wing where Wan-Bissaka was kind of just able to keep up with Alonso very easily. And that was kind of a big issue. But in general, I wasn't too pleased with, some of the mistakes that we made. But in general, the performance was fine. That's kind of how I saw it.
Yeah, so I don't think we mentioned it on the podcast, Alex. We might have mentioned it I mentioned it, I know, on my match preview video on YouTube. If anyone wants to go check that out, they can on the YouTube channel, Talking Blues Podcast on YouTube. But I don't think we mentioned it, right? Because our last episode was the Juventus recap, and it didn't come up then that Ben Chilwell unfortunately did suffer a year-ending ACL injury, meaning the end of 2021 for him. He won't be playing. And I think Peter thought it was an ACL injury, so he kind of called that out there. So Chelsea's waiting 6 weeks, and then they're going to reevaluate, and they're going to reevaluate what occurred and see if surgery is needed. So if surgery is needed, unfortunately, Ben Chilwell will be out for the rest of the 21-22 campaign. So we don't know if that's needed. He could come back within 2022, but unfortunate stuff for Ben Chilwell, our left wing back. That's why we were talking about Marcos Alonso starting there. Other news, Kovacic missed this match due to a hamstring injury. Conte missed this match due to a twisted knee. Mount was in there, right? Mount subbed in with a double sub with Pulisic. And then did Havertz play at all? No, Havertz did not come in at all. So I think he was fit, but he did pick up a hamstring injury in Leicester. Was that the reason he didn't play, or was that just Tuchel? We don't know. So that's something. But we did see Lukaku come in for the last 10 minutes of this game, so that's a good sign. We hope to see him starting soon. Just wanted to get those points out of the way. But answering kind of what you were saying, Alex, what you started was, I think you said you were happy with the way Chelsea played. Was that your exact words?
Yeah, I'd say I was content. Yeah.
So answering what you said there, I was as well. I guess this is the time to go into it. I was happy, except the 2 plays or the 2 sequences of Jorginho and Mendy. What are you doing? Like, let's be honest here. Jorginho first, I think it was that led to the goal by Manchester United. Who scored it specifically? That's what I want. Jadon Sancho got it in the 50th minute. So basically, it was just a clearance. I don't know the exact sequence, right? The game was hours ago to when we're recording this, unfortunately. But basically, it was just a ball high in the air. Jorginho was the only one back. Behind him was Edouard Mendy, and he just poorly played it. Got past him when a high bounce past his head, and they were off. Two Manchester United players were off to the opposite end of the pitch. I don't know who was with Sancho, but it was Sancho and another player to his left. He ended up taking it. Sancho got Edouard Mendy. I mean, there was nothing Mendy could do, really. Got him on one little fake and shot it the other way to the right side. An easy goal for Manchester United and a bad job by Jorginho. He needs to do better there, Alex. I know you can talk more about that. And then Mendy. What is he doing? It was a pass between Mendy and Thiago Silva, I want to say, and then Mendy wanted to go to the player wide left. Again, I don't know who it was, unfortunately. But he wanted to go to the player wide left, so he passed it there and then immediately taken and almost a score for Manchester United. But, Fred, the one who intercepted it, was like, you know what? Here, Mendy, let me give you a second chance, my friend. Let me give you the ball back. Let me be a nice, kind guy here. And Fred had the worst chip I've seen in my entire life. I think it wasn't even a chip. It was just a nice pass. Like, here, Mendy, let me loft it back to you kindly. Here you go, kind sir. Here you go, my friend. So that was pretty funny. I mean, an awful job by Fred, and he's gonna get I'm sure he got a few looks of disgust in the dressing room after the match.
Yeah, definitely. Chelsea were dominant throughout the first half. It seemed like they could have scored at any moment. Obviously, in the second half, the beginning of the second half in particular, Man United gets back into the game. Obviously, they kind of got lucky with the goal. We kind of dominated them in terms of stats. I mean, we had 15 corners compared to, I believe they had 3, I want to say. They had multiple stacked up at the end of the game there in added time. But I only remember a couple during the regular time or regular portion of the game. And we really weren't threatened much at all. Werner missed a chance. Obviously, I know Josh, you know what? I'll let you into that one. Werner obviously missing that chance. It's unfortunate. Tuchel's put his faith in him, starting him in a reasonably big game. Kind of didn't really pay off.
Alex, you know what's funny? I've talked enough about Timo Werner here on this podcast. As you know, he missed a chance, and that's it. Maybe it was going to be a save by David De Gea, and then there was actually a ball. I think the ball was actually tipped though off a Manchester United player on defense, or one of the Timo Werner's chances, I think. But one of them, I think he also flat out missed. So Timo Werner for you. But since Lukaku seems to be fit, we would hope that he plays on Wednesday in the match against Watford, and we hope for that. But Alex, how dare you go into not how dare you only went into one of my stats. The stats, I love it. Let's go through it real quick. Shots, Chelsea 24-3. Shots on target 6-2. Chelsea wins that. Of course, possession. Chelsea's got that locked up. 66%. Passes 586 to 319. Pass accuracy 86% to 74. Chelsea's winning all of this, except fouls, because we're just such a great team in that we don't foul anyone. I'm just kidding. 14-13, Manchester United won that. Yellow cards, Manchester United 5-2. No red cards. 2 offsides for Chelsea compared to Man United's one. Man United should have had a second offsides. Excuse me. The line judge was, what the hell was he watching in that match? The Ronaldo non-offsides call. Anthony Taylor, fix yourself. I remember Peter already emphasized that he was, every time there's always something happening with Anthony Taylor, and Thomas Tuchel after that offsides, which was worth it, went absolutely ballistic and got fouled for it, got the yellow on manager Thomas Tuchel in this match. So even Tuchel was fed up with the Anthony Taylor line judge nonsense, whatever you want to call it. But the Ronaldo earned himself a corner. Alex, if that corner was a goal, it would have been a clear goal. I
would have went ballistic. Thank God it wasn't.
You would have went full Thomas Tuchel.
No, it would have been worse. I would have screamed. It would have been terrible.
And then the corners were 15-2. Chelsea sit in first still with 30 points. Manchester City behind them. Chelsea lead by 1 point with 29. Manchester City with 29. Chelsea with 30. Man United still in eighth with 18 points. So there's that. Back line, Silva, Chalobah, Rudiger looked very good in the back. Obviously, Thiago Silva, we know how he looked. Rudiger, give him the contract. I mean, even the announcers were saying it in the match. Just do it.
The passion that man shows is just too much. He deserves to play here. He's given so much to this team. Pay him what he wants. We spend outrageous money on transfer fees and on salaries of other players. Why not give him some money and really solidify this back line? The commentators made some good points. Christensen, Rudiger, they're all going to be out now for the rest of this season. As Josh is, making some weird movements over there. Sorry about that for laughing. I can't control myself. But in terms of the defense and getting these new contracts, sorry, yeah, I'm just getting distracted. Josh, you have to come in here and explain what you're doing now. I'm getting a little bit confused. What's going on here?
I was trying to nonchalantly take off my sweatshirt because it's hot in my room right now, but whatever.
So we kind of figured out this new, obviously, as you can see me really up close right now. You're seeing me like this, and we have the Zoom, what's it called? Speaker view. And so I see Josh perfectly fine, but you guys can't see Josh. So only I can see Josh. And so when Josh is doing weird things, I see him doing it and no one else can do it. Even though he was just taking off his sweatshirt, I will repeat, but for some reason that made it feel weird. Anyway, continuing on. Pulisic made big impact when he came on. You can see the pace, the energy. I thought he was fantastic. And I know, Josh, you had a little bit of a Twitter outburst. It felt like during the around 70th to 80th minute when Tuchel was just not making those substitutions that you desired.
Yeah, so I thought it was a little too late to make the subs at the 78th minute. I wish Tuchel just did it a little bit earlier. Not a little bit. I mean, like 65th, 70th minute, but whatever. It is what it is. Speaking of Tuchel, let's go for his long ass quotes here that I have. He said, quote, "For sure, this match, it's hard to imagine that you can drop points because we were the better team and we were the team who set the rhythm and intensity and high ball wins. We're disappointed, but we have no regrets. This can happen in football. We know it. It does not feel good when it happens, but it's like this. I told the team I'm happy with the way we play, and I'm happy with the courage that we show and the intensity and the will and the intensity. It's a hungry team and a team that players with a lot of effort, and this is what I like because I'm excited to coach. It's exciting to coach and also exciting to watch." All right. That's too long for me.
No more reading for Josh. No more reading.
Jorginho made up for the stupidity, as I put here as a bullet point, of missing the ball with a class penalty. A great job by him. Great confidence. Hops giving a jump. And then, yeah, that's really it for our match recap. Not to kind of fly through it at all, but I mean, that's really all I had, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else. In terms of the match, it's just kind of one of those ones that's like, all right, you move on, you move, you can't dwell on it. You got to get ready, especially in the short week here. We got Watford on Wednesday, got to get through it. Chop. Let's get back into it. Let's get a nice win on Wednesday and, get back to it. Don't dwell on the past, but, we'll have a video previewing that game with our lineups and stuff. Probably coming out either Tuesday or Wednesday morning. So we'll see. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Go follow us on Twitter. Not finishing it up yet because we still got another segment. We got our Chelsea update segment and we got some better music this time in case you were sitting a little bit in suspense last time with your, how many minutes? Many minutes, hours, maybe, possibly, of news music. We've condensed it. It's better. So everyone on video, you're just going to see our faces pause for a second, and everyone on audio will get some nice news music. So, Josh, what's your Chelsea update here?
My Chelsea update. Well, first of all, let's go to the Chelsea women. They had a 5-0 victory against the Birmingham women on November 21st. We had Sam Kerr with the hat trick and Fran Kirby with 2 goals in that match. They're not going to play for a while, though, and I'm not going to give you when they play because you can look it up yourselves. And I'm going to say it next weekend before they play their next match. It's coming very late, though. I believe it's a Champions League match, and Chelsea men have like two. Yes. So they play, I think, in the Women's Champions League when Chelsea plays in the Men's Champions League on Wednesday, December 8th. So not this Wednesday, the following Wednesday. And Chelsea have 2 matches before even that comes up to Chelsea men. So, but yeah, I was just joking about that. But probably I'll do my next Chelsea update next Saturday after Chelsea play West Ham and we do our match recap for that one. So that's when I'll probably talk about, the Chelsea women's match. But anyway, they are 1 point shy of the first place Arsenal woman in the Women's Super League table. So there's that. Now the PL2 squad. Chelsea won. Brighton won on November 26th, the day after Thanksgiving, for anyone who celebrated. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Their next match is going to be Friday, December 3rd versus Derby County. Both PL2 squads are going to match up there. Chelsea PL2 squad sit 9th in the table, tied in points with Everton and 1 point behind Liverpool in 8th. And that is your Chelsea update. For Josh, me.
Don't refer to yourself in third person right now.
Yeah, well, because I was going to say for Alex, and then I was going to wrap it up. And then I just realized that I said for Josh and completely messed up the outro. But anyway, Alex, do you want to do the outro? Or what are your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts are we got to focus. We got to keep the intensity, and we need to bounce back with a good result. Kind of like we did after that Burnley game where we played well. Just like after that Burnley game where we played well and we were able to bounce back there against Juventus. I want to see similar. Let's get back, get another win, stay top of the table. Those are my closing thoughts. Let's go, Chelsea.
Let's go, Chelsea, indeed. And I'm going to do this correctly now. For Alex, boom. For Alex, I am Josh. You can go follow us on Twitter at JoshHola29. For myself, Alex at Anoran23, at Talking Blues Pod on Twitter and TikTok. Also, Talking Blues Podcast on YouTube. Wherever you're watching, we appreciate you watching. You can go subscribe and drop a like, comment if you even want to do that. A lot of videos coming up in the future. Matt, like Alex said, if you do not know, because I said in the video now, but I didn't say in the podcast. So here's the deal. Because of school and also because of just when we do our recap episodes, we'd like to do them the same day of the matches. And it's just not good to do our lineup previews 4 days, 3 days, 5 days, even sometimes in advance of when the matches actually occur. So like if we did it tonight, that's like 3 days in advance of the match on Wednesday. That's not good. You don't want that, right? So, and in the title, it's like preview and recap or recap and preview. So basically what we're condensing it down to, recaps will be here on episodes for everyone listening audio wise and everyone watching video wise. If you want anyone who's listening on podcast platforms and who wants to see our previews, our lineup previews, please go to the Talking Blues YouTube channel. And like Alex said, either the day prior to a Chelsea match or the day of a Chelsea match that morning will be our lineup previews. And that is where we'll do our lineup and score predictions. So that's going to be the future of the Talking Blues podcast for now. You can go to shipitstudios.com/Talking Blues for all the links. That's shipitstudios.com/Talking Blues. And that's all of the links you can listen to our podcast. 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And with that, Chelsea won and Manchester United won. We have Watford, like Alex said, Wednesday, December 1st. Oh, first day of December. Look at that. 2:30 p.m. EST. That's 7:30 p.m. For everyone watching in the UK. Did I do my? Yes, I did it right. Let's go. First try. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time.